Hi there, folks. Saber 4 here, coming at you with something a little bit different today. We're going to talk about just kind of the journey of this YouTube channel. I know that's not, a whole lot of Star Wars content, but it is something that I feel like is entertaining at least, and to kind of see where this goes for my own sake and for everybody else. So just kind of, you know, if you followed along with the channel so far, here's where we are. Um, First off, why the name Saber 4? Well, I played the Decipher Star Wars CCG years ago, and I went wandering around some of the ship names and things like that were available, and Saber 4 was a ship that was available in one of those sets. It was also one of the nice names that was available on YouTube, and so it made for a really great little combination with the other funny part, the General Grievous card that exists with text that is essentially meaningless. That if you get the fourth saber, you're able to do something really cool. So, something only a dreamer would try. January 21st was our first video. We actually put two out that day. Both of them you see the thumbnails up for on the screen. Really just kind of wanted to talk about some of the new stuff, and I don't have a very big community at my LGS to be able to go there, sit down, play with it, and try and figure it out. So I figured that this was a good opportunity to reach out to the community as a whole. Previewed a couple new decks, a couple new leaders, learning the presentation style, video editing, how YouTube uploaded, content generation, all the stuff's on the fly. This is the first channel that I've run. First video had 160 total views. This is the Boba Fett video that's there on the top. Got our first 3 subscribers, which is just kind of interesting that people were watching along. Limited advertising of the video, didn't really go too far out of my way to reach out to different channels and advertise it. But interesting to see people kind of find it organically. The second video came out on the same day, and I did talk to a few people about that deck and then referred them to it. Still using screenshot grabs at the time. Good grief, that was difficult to do. You cut and paste the whole thing and grab the screenshot of the card rather than, being smart and clicking on the image. So, learning a lot as I went. This became a lot more popular, probably because Thrawn was something a lot of people were very interested in. As of the writing of this had a little over 600 views, but a lot more engagement, because as we went through the rest of spoiler season and people saw Thrawn, they kind of came back to this and got, some good conversation in on this one as well. January 23rd was my next video that came out. I was prepping for a PQ at the time, and so a little bit less focused maybe on a YouTube channel than putting things together for that. And this was the start of what I intend to have as a ongoing series in the times where there's a little bit of a lull, the Unplayable Leader series, where I'm going to take some of the harder to play leaders or different victory conditions. I've got a Kylo Ren one, for example, that the entire goal of the deck is to steal back the stolen land speeder, and to do it without having to attack it. So a couple more subs brought my total above 11. Understood the toolbox in YouTube a little bit better. Still not great at getting the recording tool reminder text off the bottom of my screen, and also still using a decaying headset from 10 years of video games. First breakthrough videos came about the math of the game, and understanding how we change draw math with the new bases. And so, had some talk about refining Rebel decks, using Thermal Oscillator, but also an Admiral Piet deck that was another kind of 2-for-1. Big major leader who continues to be a part of the current meta, and we'll see kind of where he goes with the Denver PQ, the Denver sector qualifier that's happening this week. And it's also the first video with the new microphone, which is quite a helpful tool rather than wearing my headset all the time. February was a slow month, though, overall. Got a little swallowed up in work. Spoiler season slowed down a little bit. Didn't really pop out a whole lot of new decks, but almost a third of the views happened there in February 1st. The other three, I really did a lot of kind of deep diving into the mechanics of the game itself and how to work on and edit my particular style in presentation. And so it was a really beneficial month for the channel overall, even though the growth was quite small. March brought around the actual release of the new set, and really kind of a nice little flood of videos that research from Jump to Lightspeed helped spur two of the most popular videos on the channel. Completion of the spoilers also allowed some of those deck previews from earlier to return in a more finished format, which made for a little bit better and cleaner video. But we also had a really big surge in metrics, which was interesting to see. 16 videos, a little over 16,000 individual views, more than 1,300 watch hours in March. The top three videos combined for more than 6,000 hits. And they are, a couple of them are still getting hits as of here in the beginning of April. The Defeating the Meta Decks, the Django Tarkentown series, and then the one that really kind of hit it off was the Win Your pre-release, a video that was a week before the set major launched and kind of talked about how to put stuff together for a pre-release deck. Interesting, since I wrote this stuff down, some of those, the 16 videos from March didn't change, but some of the metrics have. And of course, we'll talk about those probably in another one of these down the line. What are the goals of this channel? Well, when I started things off, this really wasn't meant for any kind of thing other than my own entertainment. And it's been just absolutely fascinating to see it grow. But the current channel goal is to make that mark of 500 subs and 3,000 hours of watch time. That's the content creator mark for YouTube. And in my wildest dreams, I really didn't expect to make tens of dollars doing this. I thought that if YouTube occasionally bought me lunch, then I would be well above any kind of expectation. But where I say here, as of April 3rd, I was within 60 subs and halfway through the watch hours. 2 days later, now that number is under 40. Actually, that number is almost 30 subs away from being at 500. And the watch hours have surged to about 1,700. So, we're still getting good growth. And so I think there'll be fun marks to break. The timeline that I've set for myself for that, I'm hoping to see that happen by the conclusion of spoiler season, which includes a lot of things because I know we've got planetary qualifiers and we'll have sector qualifiers. And so we'll have a lot of different stuff to talk about and a lot of videos to make in that time frame. I think it's a reasonable goal. The second goal on here is to earn a card preview. I think that'd be a really cool thing for this channel to do, to be able to grow big enough to preview a card one day. Not for the sake of getting more eyeballs on the channel necessarily, but just because it'll mean that we've made it this far. Whether I'm on the radar for FFG at all, I don't know. But to have that kind of reaction someday would be really cool to see. Would like to see if I can pull that off by set 6, by Secrets of Power. We'll see what happens. The other long-term goal would be to get a press kit, maybe by set 7. We'll see. I have no idea what the future holds for this or, Star Wars Unlimited or for the channel, but that'd be fun times. And then finally, to get one of the FFG artists to give me a rendering of Saber 4 that I can use for the logo. If anybody knows how to make that happen, that would be really awesome, because we all got to have dreams, and that would be really cool one. As a personal word, like I said, I started this channel just to share deck ideas and to engage in the community in a different way. It really is truly amazing that so many people have turned out and tuned in and been a part of the growth. And for that, you have my sincere thanks. I've actually met people in real life that identified me from this channel and knew me from the videos. And I am absolutely humbled that my ideas inspire innovation in others. Um, it's really fun to plant a seed and watch it grow. And I am happy to be a part of something that gives back to the Star Wars Unlimited community. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.